There you go. Go for it whenever you're ready. Good job. You smoked it.
I smoked it?
Yep. Nice. Good job. That was awesome. Ready?
I like to shoot.
I'm glad you like to shoot. Good job.
Whoa.
Awesome.
That was pretty cool, right?
Super cool. You're really good at this. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, go for it.
I want to shoot the yellow one.
Finger off the trigger until you're ready. Okay, go ahead. Good job. Take it. Nice, you got it. Shoot the last one.
Okay.
Here, get it up in your shoulder. There you go. Go for it. Good job. You smoked it. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today I'm going to talk to you about something that's been really important to me lately, which is introducing my daughter to the world of firearms and shooting. I think it's really important that we keep kids involved because they are the future of the sport. So today I'm going to go over a couple things that I've done to get my daughter involved with it, some things that have made it more comfortable for her, and just more fun in general to keep her engaged and keep her involved. So she's 4, she turned 4 in January, so she's pretty young. In terms of introducing her to the sport, it's been really important to keep it light, keep it fun, and also introduce some things to it that are going to keep her engaged and just make it to where it's not just shooting paper. And because everybody knows that can be boring. If you've gone and shot on a static range from 7 yards, just shooting bullseyes all day, that's not fun for anybody. So I'm going to go over a couple things here that I've brought to the table that keeps her engaged and makes it a little bit more fun for her. So the first thing that I'm going to do is break down her rifle. What I've picked out here is the Cricket, my first rifle. It's chambered in .22 caliber, and it also will accept .22 short as well. So it has a rail on the top that I have added. It comes factory with these little iron sights that has a small hole or diopter at the end and then a blade on the front. I just thought it was a little bit uncomfortable for her. The whole idea of looking through iron sights is a little challenging for a 4-year-old. So what I've opted to do is take the iron sights off, add the Cricketini rail. You can find those on Amazon, but it is called Cricketini, kind of like Picatinny rail. The Cricketini rail, which just threads into the top of the receiver, it's already tapped, and then added a red dot to it. The red dot that is on here is from a manufacturer called Advanced Optics, or ADE. It was $35 on Amazon, and I honestly didn't even have to touch the adjustment dials on it. Somehow, by sheer luck, took it out of the box, slapped it on there, stood back from 10 yards, shot at a dime size little bullseye that I put on a piece of paper, and it hit right in the middle of it. So I've not had to adjust it, and it's been great. Before that, I had a Vortex Spark AR red dot. This I just had laying around from a build for a 300 blackout that I'm doing, waiting on a suppressor to come back. So I harvested this off there just to see if she would like the red dot. She did. The only downside is it's a little heavy and it's a little tall. It sits on there pretty high, which now, couple things. I think in the long run, this is obviously a better choice. It's more low profile, it's lighter. However, it was easier for her to look through this to find the dot than it was for this. So we started with this, and she, right out of the gate, hit bullseyes all day long, or hit steel all day long. However, when we switched to the more low profile one, it was a bit of an adjustment because she had to consciously put her cheek on the stock to look through it. Whereas this was up high, so she could keep her head up and look through. Now that's just up to you guys. If your kiddo is having issues with something that's more low profile where they have to keep their cheek down, You know, 2 points of contact with your support hand and then your firing hand and keeping your head off the stock, if that's what gets them engaged, by all means, go for something that's taller like that. As long as they're making hits and they're having fun, that's all that matters. I think in the long run, though, in terms of being accurate, if you want your kid to be successful, which you got to kind of weigh your options. If you want them to just have fun, that's great. If you want them to focus on the fundamentals, that way in the future they're more accurate, use your better judgment. This, with it being more low profile, she did have to make the 3 points of contact, the forehand, firing hand, and then putting her cheek on the stock. But after a little bit of adjustment, again, she's 4 years old. After a little bit of adjustment and some coaching, she was making hits, no problem. So that's the only adaptations that I've made to the gun. When we did have the taller red dot on there, I put a little piece of foam that I just taped to the buttstock so that it would bring it up a little bit higher so she can kind of put her cheek on it. That helped out a little bit, so keep that in mind. If you do get a red dot that you think is a little bit too tall, add some foam with some tape onto the buttstock to give them a little cushion. I mean, I do that with my rifles. Just makes it a little bit more comfortable for them. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this is chambered in 22 caliber. It's 22 long rifle, but it also accepts 22 short. And what I've opted to do is start with 22 short. And if you guys aren't familiar, this is a 22 long rifle there, and then a 22 short looks like that. So it's quieter, the velocity's lower. I just thought starting out, I wanted to do something that was not intimidating. I know 22 long rifle really isn't that intimidating, but for a 4-year-old, I was just trying to be pretty cautious with it. 22 short, if you've not shot one, is as quiet, if not quieter, than a pellet gun. And she really enjoys shooting the 22 short rounds. She thinks that they're super cute. So I think that she's also doing fine with the 22 long rifle. But just to start out, if you have a daughter or a kid who's a little more timid, especially with loud noises, obviously use your Ear Pro and your Eye Pro, but the 22 shorts are really great for introducing them and keeping it quiet. Okay, and then also in terms of making things comfortable, as you can see here, I have this set up on these shooting blocks. What I've done with my daughter is either utilize one of these blocks or my shooting bag as a rest, as opposed to having her hold it up. We started with the bench, and I know it sounds a little different, but instead of having her sit at the bench, she's far more comfortable standing behind the bench and having it rested on either this block or on a bag. When she's sitting down, in order to get forward on the gun, she starts to slide off of the seat. So just getting started out with a smaller kiddo, it seems to work better to have them start standing and then utilize a rest like this block or a bag and shoot off of it as opposed to sitting or laying down. This is what I'm using for targets, or one of the things that I'm using, which is balloons. And the reason for that is they're all different colors. So it keeps her engaged to say, hey, shoot the red balloon, or what balloon do you want to shoot? She likes pink, so she wants to shoot the pink balloon. Another thing is that at my range, they have a bunch of targets that are different shapes. Like it's a kind of a Western range. So they have cowboys, buffaloes, stars, little steel plates that are different shapes. Walmart actually sells something similar, but they're rubber. So they'll be shaped like a bunny or like a squirrel and so on and so forth. Just having something that's a shape to keep them engaged, not a round circle or a piece of paper, is really key because they can choose what they want to shoot. It's fun for them. They like the bunny, they can shoot the bunny. They like shooting the cowboy, they can shoot the cowboy. They want to pick a color, they can pick a color. And that's been really great for keeping them engaged. Last but not least is keeping it short. I don't mean 22 short. I mean, keep your range sessions down to 20 to 30 minutes at the most. I mean, typically when we go, I know it's an hour, 3 hours, however long we have. Brass, we'll keep shooting. But with kiddos, they're going to get tired a lot quicker. They're going to get burnt out a lot quicker. So keep it to 20, 30 minutes at the most. Get some hits, have a good time. Let them pick out the targets that they want to shoot. And then just come back the next day, a few days later, shorter, more repetitive sessions as opposed to longer sessions. And if they're not making hits, it doesn't matter. Just encourage them no matter what. As long as the gun's going bang, tell them they did a good job and encourage them. I know today I put out a bunch of balloon targets. That way if my daughter did miss, I would just pretend that she made a hit and she wouldn't remember which one that she hit because she's 4. And I would just be like, oh yeah, that was super great, baby. Just because that keeps their confidence up. As soon as they start realizing that they're missing, they start to disengage and they get frustrated with themselves. So the more that you can do to keep them engaged and keep them encouraged, they're going to enjoy it no matter what. Even if they're missing, they're going to end the day out by being super excited that they got to go and shoot with dad or mom or whoever. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope that you get your kids out soon and get them shooting because they are the future of firearms in the industry. So I really hope that this video helps you and that you can use some of these tips going forward and that you get your kiddos in it and they really enjoy it. So again, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop some comments down below. Tell me about the first time that you took your kids shooting. I'd love to hear about it. Thanks again. Keep shooting.
Point it at the thing you want to hit. Look, you gotta look down your sight. There you go.
I can do it.
Good job. Whenever you're ready,
I'm ready.
go. Pull the trigger. You hit it! Good job!
I hit the cowboy.
Good job! Oh, good job! That's awesome! You hit the cowboy! Were you aiming at the cowboy? Good job! That's awesome!
Yeah.
I can't believe you did that! That's so cool!
I did
You
one.
you gotta do that again. Can you do that again?
Yeah.